Okay, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the 32nd meeting of our Community Advisory Committee committee for the Vincent Thomas Bridge Deck Replacement Project. It is April 22nd. As always, we'll start with attendance and I'll move through the Caltrans attendees and welcome our community members afterward, give folks some time to log in. So first, Diana, could you say hello?
Good evening, everybody. My name is Diana Jimenez, Public Information Officer with Caltrans District 7.
Andy?
Hi, this is Andy Chen, Structure Construction from Caltrans. Thank you.
Rima?
Good evening, Rima Tebeleva, Project Manager from Caltrans for this project.
Thank you, Rima. Salim?
Good evening, everyone. This is Salim Chun. I'm with the Office of Structure Construction.
Ken?
Good evening. Ken Young, Caltrans, Office of District Traffic Manager.
Jeffrey?
Jeffrey Liu with PPM.
Calvin?
Calvin, so Mobility Programs East.
Thanks, Calvin. And Osama?
Good afternoon. Osama Megalla, Caltrans Assistant Division Chief Project Management.
Thank you, Osama. Glad to have you here. Augie from the community.
Hi, everyone. Augie Besmolin, Angeles.
Thank you for joining. Cecilia.
Hi, everyone. Cecilia Moreno, Director of Community Relations at the Port of Los Angeles.
As well as Monica.
Good evening, everyone. Monica Garcia, CEO, Wilmington Chamber of Commerce.
Appreciate you all taking the time out of your evening to join us and help keep the community informed about this project. So on our agenda tonight, we will do an overview of the previous CAC action items, as well as the last TAC meeting that we had back in March. As you'll remember, the TAC, or Technical Advisory Committee, is paused at the moment. As far as the updates in our presentation tonight, we will discuss the project schedule, an overview of current construction and what's up ahead, updates from the Traffic Management Plan Subcommittee. We'll hear from Calvin Dong discussing the area projects, coordination map, and schedules. And I'll touch on the Pacific Merchant Shipping Association's Goods Movement stakeholder meeting series that is ongoing. We'll finish with the action items that are generated from this meeting. So last meeting of the Community Advisory Committee did not generate any action items other than the normal uploading of minutes and recording to the project website. The last TAC meeting back in March discussed several topics, including the open house series, which we concluded at the beginning of this month, the project schedule at that time, local streets repairs that are planned for the project, the start of the pre-full closure construction, an overview of the construction schedule, again, the Traffic Management Plan Subcommittee, project coordination map, and next steps for the TAC. As I mentioned earlier, and as you are probably aware, the Technical Advisory Committee is on hold. It still exists, but we are not holding any meetings for that for the time being. So I'll ask Rima to unmute and speak about the project schedule.
Thank you, Nathan. So as you all know, Caltrans launched this project in February 2023 with the environmental phase completed in fall of 2024 and design phase completed in fall of 2025. We signed the construction contract with Skanska CEC joint venture this past January, and we're now fully into construction phase. Construction work is divided into three parts: pre-full closure, full closure, and post-full bridge closure. Pre-full closure began in March, on March 23rd. We're currently on target to wrap this pre-full closure work by late October. The 16 months full closure remains set for November 1st, with the bridge scheduled to reopen in winter 27-28. And post-full closure is scheduled from winter 27-28 to winter 28-29. And next is Andy Chen, our structure construction senior engineer, to talk in details about all these activities. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Rima. This is Andy Chen from Structure Construction Caltrans. For the next few slides, I'm going to talk about the construction, such as the stages and what kind of work we're going to do during each stage. So before I start, can everybody hear me fine? Diana, thumbs up? Thank you. All right, next slide, please. So as Rima mentioned earlier, there will be 3 stages for this project. The first one is a pre-full closure stage. That's for the preparation work. It will start from March 2026 to October 2026. So at this moment, we already start this stage. And the next stage will be the full closure stage. That will be for the deck replacement stage. That will be from November 2026 to February 2028. And the last stage will be the post-full closure stage. That will be from March 2028 to March 2029. And the project contractor will be Skanska CEC joint venture. Due to the magnitude of this project, therefore, we need 2 contractors working simultaneously, and they are great contractors. Next slide, please. So, okay, got it. So here are some of the major work we are going to do during the pre-full closure stage. All right, once again, it's from March 23rd, 2026 to October 30th, 2026. The first thing we're going to do, the thing we are doing right now is install the protective shielding. It's the purpose is to protect the people and waterway underneath the bridge. And next stage, we will install the work platform. We will install the platform immediately under the deck. Therefore, the worker has better access for the work. And we already installed 2 temporary stair towers. That's extra access points to expedite the work. And then we are going to install structural bracing. The main purpose is to ensure the stability of the bridge, especially after the deck is removed. And last but not least, we're going to resurface the local street for the detour route. Next slide, please. So what kind of impact we are looking for during the pre-full closure stage? We will have overnight one directional bridge closure from Sunday night to Friday morning. Week of the March 23rd was a Monday to Friday. And then westbound will be from 10:45 p.m. to 6:45 a.m. And eastbound will be 10:15 p.m. to 6:45 a.m. And there will be potential weekend bridge closures, depends on the progress. And local road will be closed for the resurfacing in mid-July to October 30th, 2026. And we will provide you the closure notification through the email. Next slide, please. So as I mentioned earlier, we are already in the pre-full closure stage, and this is the work we're currently doing right now. As you can see on the right-hand side, that's a one-directional closure on every night. And on the left-hand side, that is the protective shielding that we are installing right now. Every night. Next slide, please. As I mentioned before, we are going to assemble those protective shielding on the deck, on the bridge deck. Once we reach certain area, we will lift it with a crane and swing over outside the bridge and hang it under the bridge. So that is the actual picture for the work we are doing right now. I mean, recently for this stage, sorry. Next slide, please. So this is what we have right now for looking under the bridge. Those are the protective shielding that we're installing right now at this stage. Next slide. And as mentioned earlier, we are going to install the temporary structure bracing. The main purpose is make sure to ensure the stability of the bridge, especially after the deck is removed. And in the second half of this year, you guys will see the actual bracing that installed on the bridge. Next slide, please. And as mentioned earlier, we are going to improve the local roads, especially for those detour routes. The blue line is the one we're going to resurface the entire street, such as Harry Bridge Boulevard. And the yellow dot line is the one that we're going to do the restriping and circle will be the new striping for the intersection, and the red triangle will be the temporary traffic signals. And we will finish all this before the foreclosure start. Next slide, please. So that was for the pre-foreclosure work. As for the foreclosure stage, as mentioned earlier, will be start from November 1st, 2026 to February 28, 2028. That will be 16 months. And it will be foreclosure, therefore the entire bridge will be shut down to the traffic. And we will focus on the deck replacement work. And during this time, that will be 7 days a week and 10 to 12 hour shift per day. Next slide, please. And these are the major work we are going to do during the foreclosure stage. We are going to replace the bridge deck. We're going to reconstruct the bridge railing. We're going to reconstruct the median barrier. We are going to reconstruct the drainage, replace the seismic sensor, and reconstruct the overhead signage. All of this work will be finished within 16 months. Next slide, please. And that was for the foreclosure stage. So right now we're talking about the post-foreclosure stage. This is the last stage of the construction. It will be start from the March 2028 to March 2029. There are two types of work under this stage. One is a permanent work, one is temporary work. As for the permanent work, we're going to install the permanent under deck utility supports, and we're going to handle utility under those permanent supports, and we are going to complete some punch list items and install new drainage system at the seismic joints. Those are the permanent work. As for the temporary work, we are going to remove everything that we installed during the pre-foreclosure stage, such as the protective shielding, access platform, stair towers, and also the temporary structural bracing. So those are the work we're going to do during the post-foreclosure stage. Next slide, please. As for the impact during the foreclosure stage, it will be similar to the pre-foreclosure stage. It will start from March 2028 to March 2029. We will have overnight one directional closure on weekdays. And the westbound will start from 10:45 p.m. to 6:45 a.m. and eastbound will start from 10:15 p.m. to 6:45 a.m. So everything is exactly the same as the pre-foreclosure stage. And also we might have a potential weekend closure. It depends on the progress of the project. Next slide, please. So that's my presentation for today, and then I'm gonna pass the floor back to Diana. Thank you.
Thank you, Andy. And up next is Ken Young, Chief in the Office of District Traffic Manager at Caltrans District 7. He's going to speak about the Traffic Management Plan Subcommittee.
Thank you, Nathan. In terms of detours, we're going through overnight closures on the westbound side of the bridge, and the detour basically from the Long Beach side to the San Pedro side is 47 to 103 to PCH, down south to southbound on the 110. However, you may see at the interchange with 103 at 1, there will be some forthcoming work starting as soon as this Friday. So what's on that slide is a little outdated. It's a fluid situation. There's emergency work at that interchange that will essentially close a portion of the northbound off-ramp to westbound PCH, and also a portion of the main line between those two ramps at that interchange. As you look, kind of shift to the left, you'll see a dashed line that represents Henry Ford Avenue to Alameda to PCH. That was a detour that was utilized approximately a year ago for the first extended weekend closure on this project, and it will be in effect once this emergency work commences on Friday. So for example, trucks would probably be a good trucks. We recommend that trucks in particular utilize this alternate route to get to PCH and beyond. Utilizing the subject interchange could be a little complicated. We'll see. We'll show you in the next slide. But we're basically carrying over the detour that was used for the extended weekend closure into this project, and it's kind of going to work out for us because of this emergency work. Next slide, please. This is a closer detailed look at the interchange of PCH 103. The dashed red line represents the portion of the off-ramp, the northbound 103 to northbound PCH ramp that would be closed. There's a portion that you can get off the 103, and the orange line represents the modified detour to get onto PCH to continue northbound to 110 to San Pedro. So that would be, once one exits the 103, they would use 20th Street to Technology Place to Judson Avenue. As I mentioned, there will be a portion of the main line between these two, the northbound off and the northbound on, that will be closed for a duration of 1 month. And this connector that I just referred to will be closed for a period of 2 months starting this Friday. And there's, I think from what I understand right now, there's messaging out there in the field in terms of portable changeable message signs to speak of the work and the period of work. Next slide. Once we finish, once work is completed on the westbound end, then we'll transition to the eastbound. So in order for motorists to go from the San Pedro side to the Terminal Island and Long Beach side, they would utilize the 110 to PCH, 2103, 247. The transition from eastbound PCH to 103 will not be impacted as the other side is. In terms of the other side, I failed to mention that was the emergency repairs relate to girder work. I think there was a vertical clearance issue where a truck hit a girder, so that necessitates the repair. But in terms of eastbound closure, eastbound detour, 110 to eastbound 103, 47 to Terminal Island, and then beyond that, motorists could take PCH eastbound all the way to the 710 and go to Long Beach or beyond. Next slide. In terms of the full closure detour that will take place effective in November, the original detour was Harry Bridges, transitioning to Alameda, Anaheim, Henry Ford, and south on 47 to Terminal Island. We have extended that and provided an alternative route that goes along Anaheim Street to 103. And so one transitioning from Anaheim to southbound 103 can travel down the 103 to the 47 without any interruption, in particular railroad operations, which will be a challenge in that area in terms of operations. So hopefully this alternative route, this extension, will help facilitate travel in the area. Next slide. In terms of traffic control officers, we have 18 locations. The plan remains in collaboration with the city, to provide a full force of officers for the first 2 to 3 months. For the first few months, that will be able to address the project impacts upon closing, but also will carry through to the peak period that we understand the port has as early as January. The city has put forth a motion to go beyond that, but I think we have a good plan, and there may be some fluidity in terms of traffic control officers. So this is the primary plan in terms of tending to the priority locations around or surrounding the detour. Should there may be ebbs and flows in terms of location and shifts of traffic as we move forward in those first few months. So we're going to remain adaptable to moving traffic control officers to wherever it's needed. Next slide. In terms of local road improvements, kind of expanding on what Andy had mentioned, we will be providing capacity increasing improvements along the detour, in particular, an additional eastbound lane on Harry Bridges Boulevard between the 110 and Access Road, which is just to the east of the Trade Pack building. And then we'll be adding an eastbound lane on Anaheim Street from Alameda all the way to Farragut, which basically takes it all the way to the existing three lane section of Anaheim that carries forth easterly to the 710. So it provides a lot of continuity, these improvements. And then additionally, we're taking the opportunity to provide additional storage where it's needed, in particular on westbound Anaheim at Alameda left turn movement, where we're increasing the storage in anticipation of additional demand once the full closure arrives. Next slide. In terms of camera locations, the existing locations are represented in black, and we've made tremendous strides, and we've gotten to the point where we're at 90% health. And so if you utilize our Quick Map app, which is our project app, essentially, in many of those locations, we had represented still camera shots at time intervals at each one of these locations. We've progressed to providing live stream video on many of these cameras. So you can see, you're able to see live feeds. And then beyond that, our construction team has assisted us in installing what we're calling Earth Cam cameras, which are represented in magenta in or about the areas. So that'll help us provide the necessary traffic surveillance. And then before that full closure arrives, in coordination with the city, we'll be able to install many of the cameras that are in orange. So we'll be able to have a more global look at the area of impact. And then above and beyond that, we'll have what we call AWIS, the Automated Work Zone Information System, that will allow us to not only detect the traffic conditions and to be able to change the messaging to motorists in real time. So we'll be able to tell motorists that, there's traffic jammed ahead, use alternate route or whatever it may be, so that motorist travel is any kind of interruptions are minimized. Next slide. I think that may be it. Back to you, Nathan.
Thank you, Ken. And I wanted to say I saw Augie's hand come up right at the end of the construction schedule or the construction overview, and when Ken was getting started. So if you had a comment or question, Augie.
Yes. The first gentleman talked about the different, one of the things that he talked about is signage update on the Vincent Thomas Bridge. And I was thinking, the San Pedro and the LA waterfront is very dynamic right now. It's changing. And I've known throughout the years that there's been additional signage added when you're coming from Long Beach to San Pedro. For instance, the Battleship Iowa has been added as a sign on the Vincent Thomas Bridge. Is there a way that we could see the signage plan for both directions? Maybe have a meeting on that upcoming, but I'd like to get a copy of that and be able to comment on it. And perhaps, some of the things might change a little bit just because San Pedro's changing a lot right now and their waterfront's changing. So I'm hoping that, we don't want to make a mistake or anything like that, before the bridge opens, and maybe we can make some comments on the signage.
Thank you, Augie. Ken, this may be over in the other side of the house of your division, which Ken works in the division of transportation operations and safety. Signage often comes down on them, but anyone in the project team able to, or do we know if there's any opportunity for community engagement on the signage?
Okay, so Nathan, that's traffic design. They're in charge of signage, so we can look into it. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll check in with design, Augie, and see if there's an opportunity there. All right, we're on up to Calvin Dong's point in the presentation where he will discuss our monitoring of projects in the area of the Vincent Thomas Bridge and how they interact with ours.
Hi, yes, this is Calvin Dong with the Office of Mobility Programs again. We haven't had any major updates to the project scheduling since the last time. The last update was the Avalon Pedestrian Bridge and Promenade project. We'll continue to monitor for any additional projects that may occur along our detour route and around the project, but at this time, there are no major updates. I believe that's it for us.
Thanks. And here is an enlarged list of those projects. Item letter Y at the very bottom in brown is that most recent addition. Okay, regarding the Pacific Merchants Shipping Association Goods Movement Stakeholders Meeting, that was originally scheduled to occur this week, but it was postponed until next week. We gave you an update about the happenings of the March meeting at the last CAC, and we will update you on anything going on in that Goods Movement Stakeholders Meeting group during our next CAC. So I want to thank Augie for that question. Is there anybody else from the audience that has a point for discussion?
One other thing, Nathan, and thank you for putting on these meetings. I truly appreciate it. I do something similar at the Port of Los Angeles. I know how exhausting this could be. Just one other comment. Last month, I wasn't quite sure if the meeting was taking place or not. And for a number of months, you were giving us a reminder a little bit before this meeting, just saying, hey, we're having a meeting and blah, blah, blah. And, I wasn't quite sure because I didn't get that reminder last month. I wasn't quite sure if the meeting was going to happen or not. So I didn't log in. And maybe a reminder a couple of days before, since it was such a light attendance tonight, maybe people just need to be reminded a couple of days before that the meeting is still occurring or something like that, and you'll probably get a little bit better attendance. And I really appreciate this. This is very helpful, and thanks for doing it.
Thanks, Augie. We can send out that reminder maybe when we update the Outlook item with the agenda. Remind folks that the meeting is going to be coming up week of. Okay, we have a raised hand from Nihar.
Yeah, hey, just wanted to say this for the record that I did send Nathan, you, Diana, as well as Eric a letter saying that we think there is going to be a material impact because of this detour route on Alameda Street that Caltrans is not accounting for. We think there is going to be a significant increase on Alameda Street. Just want to make sure that it's in the record that that email was sent. We haven't gotten a response that it's been received, so just putting that on the record.
We did receive your email, Nihar. Believe we received a public records request related to our work on Alameda Street, and be working on that.
No worries. Yeah, just wanted to make sure that it's on the record. Yeah, thank you.
All right. Is there anyone else who would like to contribute to our discussion tonight? All right, seeing none, an action item for tonight's meeting will be to consult with internal Caltrans units about the signage that will be installed during the deck replacement project, and inquire if there's an opportunity for community engagement, and considering the developments going on in the port region, if any of those can be incorporated to our signage plan. As always, you can contact Diana and myself at the phone numbers provided here. Those are our cell phones. The project website is vtbproject.com. A recording of this meeting as well as the minutes will be uploaded to that website. The meeting recordings and minutes of previous CAC and TAC meetings, especially from last year and beyond that, going back in the past, will be on the virtual event room website. That was previously where we hosted project materials. We've migrated our project website over to the Caltrans servers. So the vtbproject.com will redirect you to a Caltrans website, which is our new site. And our email for the project is vtbproject@dot.ca.gov. Thank you for joining. We will see you again next month and hopefully get out a reminder a few days in advance and make sure folks who want to join know that the meeting is happening and have the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.